Now, I'm absolutely buzzing to have my next guest here on Inside Scoop, CBO, Chief Banana Officer. You can explain to the guys why you're holding a banana there.
I'm absolutely holding a banana. So the reason I am is because after our chat today, I would love for you to summarise everything that we've talked about in one word. And how I describe this in terms of answering, if it doesn't fit on a banana, say it shorter.
Fantastic. Absolutely love that. Before we get into the interview, though, we're going to get down to business, and we are going to review some ice cream. We're going to eat some ice cream together. We've got some rainbow unicorns. So
could not be more perfect.
I think that's phenomenal. We've got. I'm going to give those a go now and see what we think. Got my lovely assistant. Ice cream for breakfast.
Yes, AK.
So I don't know.
This is what we came for.
Yeah, I mean,
and we've got a rainbow bin to put them.
We've got a rainbow bin.
Because your pots aren't quite as compostable as mine. Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, look at the colour on it.
That is genuinely a rainbow unicorn. This apparently is like a raspberry, strawberry. It's everything. It's everything that life has to offer right here.
Absolutely, and look at the crunch.
And look at that.
I reckon that's going to be a bit of fizz bang.
Let's give that a go. Let's go straight in there with a bite. Best breakfast I've ever had.
That is going to set me up for the day.
That is phenomenal. All I'm getting there is a lot of raspberry. That reminds me of being a kid. That
raspberry ripple.
Raspberry ripple.
There's nothing better than a bit of faux raspberry.
What would you give that out of 10?
A little bit of crunch there, again. A little bit of fizz bang.
I'll be honest, I'm not giving that more than a 6. For the quality of ice cream. For the novelty, it might be a bit higher, but...
Yeah, I mean, I love the colour.
Yeah.
The depth of colour on the cone is also quite extravagant, but I would say, that's never seen a raspberry in its life.
That's never seen a raspberry in its life.
Absolutely not. I'm going to go 5.5.
5.5?
It's sweet.
She is a lady after my own heart. I like a tough critic.
I love the rainbow effect.
I do too.
But that's about it, I think, really.
Yeah, nice. Well,
the sugar and the sweet. I mean, I'm going to carry on.
You're going to carry on. Fantastic. You are an absolute legend. I'm not going to carry on.
I'm not going to carry on, but you gave it a 6.
You're right.
Wow.
If anything, I'm a fraud.
Wow, I was going to say.
The real ICP here. So, who is Elaine Hart?
Unashamedly me.
Okay.
But it's not always been that way, and that's the magic of the discovery.
What does that mean? So mystical.
Authenticity is a rare and beautiful thing. I love a bit of fancy dress.
Okay.
You will always see as many times as I can on my bike wearing something rainbow related. But I just think it's about living out loud, and I think having the courage to discover who you are and then being brave enough to live it.
So do what makes you happy and basically don't care what other people think, just do it.
Absolutely, yeah. It's not really about what other people think about you. It's kind of what do you think about you.
I love that. Have you only been doing that recently?
Somebody else actually asked me, when did you get into this? And
Yeah.
I think, yeah, I know. I mean, it's that whole thing of it, who were you before the world told you who you should be? That's kind of the thing for me.
I feel like I've always known you as you being you.
Thank you. Yeah. I mean, you've met me in my later life. It's definitely been a process.
Yeah.
I remember before I, got into what I'm doing now, which I believe I was always born to do. It is the most natural thing in the world for me. Being CBO, riding my bike, doing my bananas thing.
Why did you think I need a banana? I'm going to be CBO.
I love playfulness.
Okay.
And spinning bikes, bananas, wireless headphones, it's an immersive movement experience. But I wanted at the end of my 45 minutes for people to have a reason to talk and a reason to connect. And I thought, if I can bring bananas into that, it's almost like I've passed you a battle, do you know? And it's kind of capturing memories. Then it came to the point of, well, if I'm going to just have a branded naked banana, and that is for me stripping it back, discovering who you are, naked. We were all born naked, you know? Mm-hmm. If you've then got a word on it, it's then becomes vulnerability, and it then also captures the memory. And I think if you write something down, it really cements it. So it just gave people the opportunity to talk, and
love that.
I think that's what we need.
When you wake up in the morning, what is that drive?
I'm one of those annoying mornings people.
You're a morning person.
Burst out of bed, excited for a brand new day.
Okay.
But I'm only sort of, rock and roll until about 9 p.m. and then I've gone. For me, I say it when at the intro to every ride on the warm-up track to every ride, not everyone was on that wake-up list. And that is nothing to take for granted.
Okay.
And I just think we have the opportunity to wake up and to contribute, really. Contribute to what our story is, but also to contribute. The fact that you acknowledge somebody, smile at somebody in the morning, you wake up with a mindset of like, this could be the greatest, today could be the greatest, and live for right now. Some people say you're way too positive, and I think, well, no, I don't wake up every morning feeling incredible, I don't. That would be unrealistic. But I wake up every morning and I think I have the power to make today a beautiful day.
So you believe in, you have a choice.
Yeah.
You can choose to be
happy.
happy.
All starts with a decision and we take it from there.
For anyone who watching this that doesn't know what you do, what do you do?
I ride my bike.
Okay.
But you don't need to ride your bike.
Okay.
So the whole thing was, I bought 9 spinning bikes, 9 sets of headphones, and effectively on every ride, 9 fresh bananas. So it's 45-minute rides. Now I was due to launch this as lockdown hit, and my idea was to go out into community spaces, corporates, festivals, and create a high energy space that connected people. So they would move their bodies and they would talk and they would connect. So I couldn't do that. So I took it online because I thought to myself, how on earth can I take fitness, which I never really wanted to be, online, because mine's about real people and connecting real people. And then I thought, all I can do is, this is what we need, and we need it now more than ever, so I've got to try. But not everybody has a spinning bike. So I took it online as a movement experience. And the majority of people that join are now runners and walkers and dancers and rowers and paddleboarders and kayakers and whatever they may be. They just do their thing whilst I ride my bike for 45 minutes.
That is amazing. When the pandemic hit and coronavirus came and stuff, did you most people would think, I'm done for.
I remember saying to myself, I'll write a few playlists and see how it goes. And I just thought, do you know what, I can't. And I'd go down to my garage, which is where all the bikes are, and I'd just go in and I'd pull up the doors and I'd think, I can't launch my business as I wanted to. So I joined a couple of networking calls, riding my bike. I'd get private messages, are you marketing or are you exercising? And I thought, wow, actually I'm not doing either of those things. I just need to ride my bike. But it is where I make most sense. It's my happy place, and it's become a tool, and I always wanted it to be a tool. I want the bananas to be a tool, I want my bike to be a tool. That's not what power is. For me, it's about people, and it's about connecting people, and it's the strength of the family that has come through. Before
you created this movement, I'm going to call it a movement, where was your headspace? What were you doing in life? How did you get to where you are now?
Wowzers, that's a big question.
Big question, yeah.
I mean, that's 38 years of work.
That is 38 years of work. When she says 38 years, she means 16. She's only 16.
Yeah. I mean, my big background was motorsport and luxury brands. That's where we met. And I saw a lot of validation. A lot of material. Not a lot of magic, not a lot of unicorns. It was a lot of material and a lot of likes and validation type stuff.
When you say material, you mean shiny
not
things?
Not bananas.
Okay, yeah.
But things, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we are not our belongings. There is society as a whole and the media as a whole, the sweeping generalisation is there. I've got, kids on bikes, and I say to them, you're not your school shoes, you are not your pencil case, you are not your school bag. You are you.
Yeah, I mean, I 100% agree with you. I think it's more difficult in these times. Have you heard of Maslow's hierarchy of needs?
Go on.
No, so Maslow was a psychologist, and he came up with this theory of hierarchy of needs. Your basic needs as a human is like shelter and food.
Yeah.
We've got those.
Well, ice cream.
In abundance.
Bananas,
yeah. And so things go up and up and up this pyramid, and we're at the point now where if I plonked you on the street now, you wouldn't be worried about any material items. No. You would literally just want shelter and food. But we are way past that now, that we're so focused on material things.
That is because we are rich in perspective. Doing what I do now, right now, and this year, financially, has been tricky. But has it been one of my happiest years and one of my most fulfilling years? Absolutely. Failure is a tricky word, I think. But it's that whole thing of actually every time I betrayed who I knew I really wanted to be. This has not just happened overnight in terms of my dream to do this. I've started vision boarding in 2012, and I was working on it. But every time I actually did something else, I was like, I'm not supposed to be doing this. not supposed to be doing it. And that came, when we were working together at Rolls-Royce, and I was asked to stay until the end of the year, and I said, I just can't. I've got to do this now. The urgency kind of became even more. I was like, I've just got to do it now. I kind of carried on there a little bit longer. I said no. And on that day I left, I remember sat in our office and I took a call from somebody I'd known for years. And they said, we've heard you finished today, come and start with us tomorrow. I packed a bag that night, I left Rolls-Royce and I drove up to Silverstone, I signed a load of NDAs, and I woke up the next morning and I thought, what am I doing? What am I doing? Like, I've just quit my contract at Rolls-Royce, and I've woken up doing something else. I'm on that same treadmill.
Yeah.
And I was there for a month, and they said, we don't feel you're giving this your highest priority. So I'd kind of fallen off that. I'm sorry to let you down, AK. I'd actually, it'd been recognised.
I never saw it, so I didn't know it.
I'm being really honest and saying, actually, no. And I said, I can't be that person for you. So I bought my bikes, and then every time I opened up the garage, I was like, that's what I'm supposed to be doing. That's what I'm supposed to be doing. Until I then tested the kit, thought, right, I'm going to launch it in the spring. And then the pandemic.
So what would you say to someone who uses their head more than their heart?
Get out of your head.
Yeah?
Get out of your head. Yeah, don't let the birds nest in your hair. Don't let the birds
Leah's like, yeah.
I mean, how many birds have we got under that hat, AK, today?
I reckon
Because if the birds
473.
Fly overhead, really? Well, we have 60,000 thoughts a day. So you've got room for a few more birds. But don't let them nest in your hair, AK. Let them fly over.
What's your experience with mental health? Have you had any?
Have I?
Yeah.
Wow,
have you not had any?
My big one was anorexia. So I was hospitalised with anorexia at 18, so 20 years ago.
Wow.
I actually found my strength through fitness. And that's kind of where, rather than it's the whole strong, not skinny thing. For me, actually, when I reflect on it now, I think what it gave me actually was community, connection. And I think we all crave that. So that was the thing. But for me, the big thing about my anorexia was never named it. The first time I named it was last year.
Wow.
So I've lived with that, even though I recovered, and very few people. I mean, I've been healthy and strong, but actually, had never named it. And I think that's probably the feeling of freedom and the relief, because I would talk about when I was ill, it was just such a shame thing for me. Yeah, when I named it, owned it last year, huge for me. So I think, naming your story, owning your story, and then being able to show others, that feeling of freedom, amazing. So that was a big one for me. But my anxiety is I still have that little voice in my head, and I call her Delilah. Because I think actually if you name it, it's so much easier. I'm like, thanks Delilah, I've got this.
Yeah.
Thanks Delilah, I've got this.
Okay. Is Delilah always talking to you?
She's quite noisy at the moment.
Yeah.
She's pretty noisy at the moment.
Delilah's so annoying.
I just think there's that whole thing, because then you're just like, no,
Yeah.
And I remember that actually helped me with my anorexia at the time. Starve the voice and fuel the progress.
If you were to give Elaine of 18 years old some advice, what would you give her?
Strip it back. I think, it's that whole thing of just being you. I mean, that's been the most freeing thing for me, owning your story. I think believing in myself. I mean, I still think that's a big thing for me now. The people I've been so grateful to in my life have been the ones that have believed in me when I don't believe in myself. But also I recognise that if those people and their belief in me counts for nothing if I don't believe in me.
If you were to give somebody advice watching this, would it be the same sort of thing? Be yourself.
Well, and own your story.
Own your story.
We've all got our, stuff going on, and we've got a past, and we've got, things that, we might have an illness, or we might have, something, but that doesn't define you.
And one final question for you, Elaine.
Oh, go on, I can tell this is going to be big.
No.
We're coming in with a
2021.
Oh my goodness.
And onwards, what does it look like? What is next for Elaine Hart? What's the future hold?
More of all of this.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, if I'd written a business plan this time last year, I would have thrown it out the window. Nothing that I've actually achieved in terms of real stuff going on. It's all been rooted in absolutely what I wanted to do, but the actual things that have come from it have been something else. So I think, yes, just more of everything that I wanted, but just see where it goes. So yeah, more love, more bananas.
Love that. And shall I write on the banana?
I would love for you, to sum up everything that we've talked about, and AK, say it shorter.
Okay, this is what we're going to do.
And the detail in the exclamation mark, I love.
Own it.
Own it. I love it. Yeah, it's so true. And the exclamation mark, if anybody ever writes an exclamation mark on their banana, I always say, yes, you have everything to be excited about.
Validation. It's actually been amazing just seeing you generally, but having you on Inside Scoop as well has been phenomenal.
Pleasure.
I don't think this is going to be the last time. I can't wait to ride with you at some point.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I'd love that.
Amazing.